All right, there we go. So, we got to do something about this whole prep situation. I find myself just shifting into neutral whenever I do prep a lot, and I really shouldn't be. I actually designed this game so you could never do that. And I'll show you what I mean, because I actually have the whole document pulled up here. So, here's the game. You know the lore chapter is specifically to fix this problem. Let me actually pull it up here. Yeah, there we go. Look at all these guys. So let's say... Oh, fucking Tiger Mountain Ghost is so cool. I'm sorry, I'm admiring my handiwork. So, yeah, popping up to the lore chapter. Chapter 7. The final official chapter of the game before we get into the Apocrypha, which is all backer stuff. And rightfully so. I was powerfully inspired by Yoon Suin for this chapter. Yoon Suin is fantastic, by the way, if you don't have it. You can almost one-for-one just grab that and run Lone Wolf Fist with it. Like, it's that compatible. So, ideally, you'll never be stuck, ever. Let's do a Cursed Waste one. Let's skip on ahead to the Cursed Waste here. And I'm going to follow along in my book. But just so you know, on the up and up, I have my physical dice here, and we're going to roll those. And I'm just going to see, like, you know, if I wanted to start a game of Lone Wolf Fist, and I didn't really know where I want to put it, this would be a great chapter to start with. Cursed Waste is, like, the biggest territory. It's the majority of the world. It's got the Rad Scorpions in it, who are fucking awesome, and really give a good intro to this game for people that, like, kind of need a kick in the pants to get the idea of, like, the punk aesthetic of the whole thing. So... the first thing I would do is, like, I need a villain, so let's get an enterprising warlord. I'll toss a D10, a D10, and it looks like a D10, and we're just going to see what they do. So we're just going to put them right on top of my Lone Wolf Fist book here. Alright, so I got a 1 and an 8. Alright, so 1 is Lust for Conquest, so this guy is driven by a lust for conquest. 8 is the secret to his powers. He's a gigantic wheeled tank fortress, equivalent to about 2.5 battleships, but on land. And we know what those are, because we actually have the stats for battleships. And we'll make his fortress in a minute. And 6, his secret weakness, bound by magical treaty, actions restricted. Now, the fun thing about the magical treaties is, I have a bunch of them. Like, there's no... You'll note that there's not a place specifically there that says magical treaty. But if you look right here, we have heavenly treaties. So, I think I'll make his magical treaty real quick. Looks like another 3d10s. Good old Proudlands. Alright, so, I got a 10. The treaty requires an annual tribute of enormous wealth to a particular royal lineage decreed by heaven. I'm going to say there's probably a Rakshasa involved there that he's got to give a giant pile of money to. What will transpire if that doesn't happen? This will transpire 6. The Oathbreaker's heroes will sever their connection to Dharma until the oath is fulfilled. No one can gain karma while this sanction endures. That's kind of gnarly. I definitely think you would want to avoid that. And finally, and the loophole for this one is 8. If the treaty subject changes as to become unrecognizable under the initial terms, holy becoming unholy, water aspect becomes fire aspect, etc., the treaty becomes void. So okay. I'm going to say this Rakshasa is heavily fire aspected, so if he changes to be water aspected somehow, you can nullify the treaty. So that'll be a fun loophole for the players to maybe figure out. Right now, I've got a feeling they're going to encounter this fortress, and if we pop on back, let's see, pop on back a couple chapters here. Oh, orbital laser, love it. Alright, to battleship, we actually do have stats for it. So the fuel consumption is 70 per scene. Which means that's going to be 140 plus 30, so about 135, so 175 fuel consumption per scene. So we know immediately that this guy is sucking down the guzzling. Size weight, 9/14. Obviously, the size is going to be larger than that. It's 2.5 of those, so that's going to top out the size scale. This thing is going to be, you know, an entire tract, basically. Top speed handling, 4/1. That sounds about right. I could see that online. It's got giant wheeled tracks, so it can move all around. Train type aquatic, obviously it's going to be terrestrial instead. And it's terrestrial instead of roads because there's no way something that big is going to fit on a road. Towing capacity, 14. Yeah, it's got basically infinity towing capacity. Crew cargo, up to 300 crew. Alright, so mostly gunnery operators, 100 per turret, /8. So the skeleton crew of this is actually 8. So that means we only have 20 for a skeleton crew. It's actually going to be hard to uncrew something that only needs that many. So yeah, and like there'll be 600, 750 total crew that's probably in it. So we can immediately just take that number and pop on over here to again again, if you just go back a couple of chapters, you'll have all the stats you need. But if you check out the burning legions here, there we go. Yeah, the barbarians. We'll just give them these stats, and we'll say there's 750 of them. Obviously, cavalry would be the cool ones that would work for this one. So instead of membership 30 to 50, that'll be membership 750. And then everything else should be accurate. They've got this equipment, doom buggies, melee weapons, food and fuel for a raid. They've got their training capabilities, the tactics here. Very simple. So now I've already got them statted. Usually with a big boss style bad guy, especially for a first arc bad guy, you want to think about them in terms of what's their effort pool versus the players. If you just take your number of, when you're starting, you take your number of players and multiply that number by 5, that's about how much effort they need to be able to throw around to be a challenge to the players. It's not an exact calculation, but that's pretty close. So typically I see about 3 players, so that means he needs to be rocking somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 effort, or the equivalent thereof, to really challenge the players. Now, you might notice that the effort charts cap out at 14. That's fine. Usually what that means is you need some additional characters there with them that will help them fight. I suggest a big nasty monster pet. And again, we could choose whatever we want to for this guy. I think this is called Lone Wolf Fist. Let's give him a big wolf, you know? And we can skip on ahead. We're already in the chapter. We can get a really good one. But let's see here. Well, it's just based on the lion dog. Lion dog's got a really cool. There's some really cool shit here. But yeah, let's see. Hamage. Oh no, give him a Hamage. There we go. Ferocity 16. That'll do. So he's got one of those. And individually, we want him to be able to rock and roll with like 3 different characters. If they are of a rank that they have a minimum of their effortless is a minimum of a certain number, it can help a lot too. So if we go all the way back here, boop, and we look at these charts, well, you can note really quickly that effortless only increases, I want to say twice. Yeah, it increases here at degree 4 and increases again at degree 8. That's intentional. I think it's universal across the board for everybody. Okay, so to make this guy a really good NPC for them, I want to make him, I think I'll probably make him strong, just so he's straightforward. Degree 4 isn't too bad. He's effortless 2 at that point. He's got 3 initial chakra, which is pretty good. His pools are increasing. So he'd have 12 for his initial pool and 24 for his recovery. So 12 is enough that he could start whipping out expert techniques round 1. That'd be really good, I think. Now, we could, and with a Hamage as a mount or a pet or whatever, you don't have to fight him. He can just have that thing with him in every scene. And if he doesn't want to fuck with the players, he can just be like, you know what, Junior, you go and deal with them. Then they got to fight a Hamage. And if he sees his beloved pet getting its ass whooped, he can then join in the fight. Because he's going to be radioactive scorpion, he's going to be able to breathe fire. So yeah, it shouldn't be that difficult for him. And I think Hamage can be immune to fire or something like that. I might reselect something that's immune to fire, but yeah, Hamage is a good thing. It's fine. It'll be fine. Anyway, yeah. So if you want to, let me see. Anywhere in this scale is pretty good, I think, when it comes to that. You've got to think about what techniques can they do immediately, because if they can do a master level technique really quickly, they're also going to be a really great challenge for a party. I believe master degree techniques are 40. Let's check out Atomic Dragon Fist. Like, I'm pretty sure there's one that lets you wrap yourself in fire. Yeah, here we go. Volcano Emperor Mudra. Yeah, you have a wave of flame. Oh wait, no. Is it fire drinking double stance? I think it might be fire drinking double stance. Yeah, here we go. Body bakes with heat. Okay, so this costs 40 to start. But if you can in the first couple of rounds activate this thing, as I recall, it is sustainable. And it's rank 5 and it's a shield. So what you can do with that really quickly, and it's facing 0 to 3, so it's a really good facing range. It only requires 2 legs in your fire chakra. You're probably going to have your legs in your chakra at that point. So, and even if you're taking, a couple of effort dice off because you've gotten injured in one or both of your legs, it's not gonna kill you if you have 8 dice to throw around. So, this right here, this is a scrub deflector. Starting with effortless 2, and like even just some basic armor, like up to armor like 5, you're taking 25 off of almost every single hit before you roll any dice. So that's fantastic. It means most of those little like 10, 15 shots that will like start bruising tough but not boss characters are just going to get ignored. That's great. This is another great way to just blunt all the scrub attacks. Shields are awesome for that, because if they can pretty easily to rank 3 or 4. This starts at rank 5. So rank 3 or 4, they're going to throw at you in those first rounds. If you have this up, it's just not going to matter. They're going to have to dig deeper and get those 6s and 7s, which are really hard to get for starting characters. Not impossible, and especially if you are in a circumstance where you can align a bunch of bonuses, like you can do 6s and 7s, but they're rarer. So Fire Drinking Devil Stance, also as I recall, sets them on fire. Yeah, anyone in the same field... let me see. I think they catch on fire. Let me see what it does. Shimmering field of heat and energy surround you. Energy is in a fire while within the same field or inside of a fire hazard. Yeah, here. Your body radiates a rank 5 fire hazard within any area you occupy. There you go. So if they're in the same area with him, they're dealing with a rank 5 fire hazard. So they're going to be on the defensive anyway. So Fire Drinking Devil Stance. How early can we get that out? We got a strong hero here. Let me see. If we were rank 8, it'd be 8 with 5 of those. That'd be 30. So it's really not realistic to get it out on round 1. But on round 2, we're going to have a ton more. So I'd like to be able to reliably get it out with what I recover at the end of round 1, so I could get initiative and start round 2 with that beautiful, like power up. So rank 4, I've got 8 times 3. That's only 24. 8 times 4, however, is 32. So that's a little bit closer. Let's see here. Yeah, this is how I always think about these. Like, what round is this going to happen? Yeah, so that costs 40. So if I make this guy rank 5, he's got 10 effort, and his effortless is 2, so that gets his effortless past that scrub defense. So in the first round, they can get some quick shots in, and they can see that they're not dealing with some normal dude here. He's got focus 3 and effort 10, which is really cool, because that means in round 2, if I put a high-facing die in there, I can bid for initiative pretty easily and get a really, without missing too much, and get like a really good initiative. So assuming I can survive round 1, so I want to get some cheaper defenses I can throw in there for him too, but assuming I can survive round 1, I can start round 2 with gaining 32 more prana. So with the starting prana that I have, which is going to be 16, if I don't overspend in prana, if I keep 8 of my prana, half of my prana, in that round, or if I open an additional chakra, which I should be able to do with a Spirit Master if I want to do that, then I should be able to right away get Fire Drinking Devil Stance. So that's what I'm going to do with this guy. He's primarily going to be built around Fire Drinking Devil Stance. We're going to make him degree 5, 10 effort. That will work great. First round, the strategy is going to be to play it defensively as much as possible, and use some small flashy offense to kind of keep them at arm's length, and rely on his NPCs to make sure he doesn't get dogpiled really early. It's hard to do alpha strikes in this game. It's not impossible, and if they do pull it off, I think they deserve whatever win that gets them. I doubt they'll be able to kill a guy with... How much health does he have at that point? Yeah, 14 health and 5 aura. Jesus. They're probably not even going to punch through the aura round 1. But, that's what it's there for. So that'll keep him alive and feeling good in round 1. And maybe they get some good licks in, and that can give him a reason to power up in round 2. Oh, I gotta take this fight seriously. Then he sets himself on fire. Round 2, round 3, and round 4, therefore, are going to be the rounds where they're really having a boss battle. So that'll be great. And we don't need to think about it more than that. Since we know that round 1 can go either way, and it's a good opportunity for them to show off their stuff, but it's really unlikely that they kill him, And we know that round 2 could start off with an almost guaranteed rank 5 defense, or rank 5 plus, because he's going to be combining this with something. So rank 5 plus defense early on. I got a feeling we got a guy that's going to really give the party lumps. This is actually kind of overkill. You could probably, with this boss, get away with being degree 4 and do a really similar strategy. But before I go too much further here, let me make sure that I'm skipping ahead, because I want to show you something really important. Yeah, here we go. This guy right here. All right, so if he was 4th degree, that would be his master level technique. Same thing with 5th degree. He only gets 1. All right, according to this advancement and build chart, 1 master level degree, or one master level technique. So yeah, there it is. It's fire drinking devil stance. The end. Don't worry about it. You can probably keep him more or less totally within that style. You'll notice he has 7 novice in this build. You don't strictly need to do that. If you want to dip into another, you will by necessity, if you give him all 7 of those novices, dip into the second kung fu style, or you could assume that he learned something from someone and give him one of those. You could also, instead of that, if you wanted to give him a Gupt Kala, that would work really well. Like Art of the General would work really well for this guy. So I might just keep him with this build, but also give him the Art of the General, which is, I think, a really, really similar amount. I think novices and Gupt Kala are right in the same range as far as cost goes. It's been a hot minute. Give me a second. Oh, crap. Did I not write it down? That seems dumb of me. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, no. No, okay. Gupt Kala is actually 50. It's same as an expert. Okay. Wow, look at that. So he's going to be a little higher than this degree chart would imply. But yeah, put him at 5th degree. He's not going to be anywhere near 6th degree. Yeah, even if you wanted to go 4th degree and just give him that, you could do it. So yeah, that's kind of the general build you have with this guy. And because you don't have a lot of choices to make here, it's pretty easy to put these guys together. Give him a hog. Have him roll on the table. Actually, let's do that. Let's see what he gets. Because he's a radioactive scorpion. He's a rad scorp. And they get a hog table. Vroom. Let's see what kind of hog he gets. Go D10. Boom. He got a 9, which is an experimental attack bike with a prana battery for a fuel cell. Okay, that's fucking awesome. So we got the experimental attack bike. That works great for him. So now we got a really cool character. We've got an idea what this boss is going to feel like. We know what the battleship looks like. We know what his mains looks like. We know what his NPC pet looks like. Boom, we've already got a ton here. So it's not, well, it's just from rolling the dice and thinking about the consequences. Like, it really comes together really, really quickly. And if I was writing this down, I would just be making notes, and I might be adding some names or a little bit of like flavor to these while I'm making my notes. But I mean, we've made some really cool stuff so far. Like, we've straight up made like a mobile tract that's going to go around and blow stuff up. So that's fantastic. So yeah, let's think about the tract. We've got 2.5 battleships worth of tract. This is a really big place. Let's put a society in it. Let's see kind of what his society is all about. Looks like, again, it's going to be 3d10. And you'd think I would have gotten more d10s out. I thought I was going to need 2. All right, so I got a 5 and a 4. So their society, depraved half-Raksha nobles, that works for them. And I got a 4. Their leader is called a Grand Poobah, so we're going to call him Grand Poobah something or other. And 7, let's see, culture and status quo. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. Ride the endless highways looking for kicks, clash other gangs over petty rivalries and territory disputes, look cool as hell, worship and maintain their rides. Yeah, that works for guys who literally their whole society is a giant light car. So, okay, now we have some information about that society. They get not huge. Let me pull up the master encounter list and see what other cool stuff they have. I want to add something from the Cursed Waste that they like ride with. So let's roll the die. We got a 1. So Rakshasa. Again, this is all hanging together nicely. So we'll put some Rakshasa in there with them. Maybe the nobles that they're directly indebted to that are also like their pappies. All right, so let's give this dude a name. We'll do the D100 here. We have D100 4 times. So there we go. Oh, shit. 35 with that one. So your name is going to be Hemang. There we go. Now you decide you're going to be a guy. Oh, so it's only 3 then. Okay, so Good old He-Mang. That's his name. Grand Poobah He-Mang. What's his quirk? He has got 53, which is this one. Doesn't blink. Constantly on drugs. I love this dude. Alright. And we don't have to do this for every NPC, but, you know, we can do it for the ones that are going to stand out. Motive, 58. Alright, and we already know what he has to do because he's cursed, right? He's got to conquer things and get tons of money to tribute to this noble, or else this curse is going to remove his connection to Dharma, which in him and all of his followers. So he can't have that. So he kind of has to give this guy money whether or not he wants to. So I'm kind of more interested in developing that Rakshasa as a villain. So I think we should go back to him since we've added him already. But yeah, 58. What's his motive? Maybe he should have a personal motive too. Indulgence in biblical amount of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So okay, so our original villain has become kind of a rock and roll freelancer who just wants to party and worship his hog. So I kind of love the guy. He doesn't seem like a super villain to me, but he's been put into a villainous position probably by his father or sire or master or whatever. This Rakshasa has got him bound under this mystical treaty, and he's got to conquer for him. He's got to steal a whole bunch of gold to tribute him, or else he loses his connection to Dharma. All right. So, let's put this in a weird place in the waste to add some spice. We'll start them there. Alright, so 9. So, they're in a surreal desert. Mesa, surrounding canyon oasis, grassy and loamy on top, or barren and pebbly. Tent villages at its feet, fed by a long, natural rock basin filled with water. Weirdly wind-sculpted butts spanned by rope bridges and surrounding an unearthly slot canyon. Mesas of precariously balanced stones climbable by steep escarpments. So, yeah, we're in, like, a really cool, like, painted canyon kind of place, and this tank is just rumbling through it. So that gives us it's turning into a real kind of Mobius-esque energy here. So that's cool. Let's see. Are the tract and fields going to work? We've already got a tract, so I'm not worried about that. Let's roll for 3 fields. We got D5s here, so we're going to roll our D. Oh, you know what? I actually think that I have D5s. Where did I put them? I don't remember. Fuck it. We're just going to half these D10s. I actually have a legit D5. I'm so proud of it. Alright, so 7 is the same thing as 3. 1 is the same thing as 1. So that works. Alright. Actually, no. 7 should be... we should round up on these. So that should be the same as 4. So we got a 4 and a 1. Okay, so 4... Oil derricks funded by scrappy nomads. That works. And I think we could probably do a mini society with the oil derricks. We'd go back to societies and generate that one. Same thing, rad scorpions. And then 1. All right. And this is squalid farms hemmed in by an industrial complex. That works. And then we'll toss 1 more bone there. We got a 5, which is 3 exotic neon-colored shrub garden. Okay, so we're going to put those 3 places in there. As points of interest on it. And I think all of those would be interesting points of interest. I think we should generate some more cool NPCs or monsters that would go in those, and that would give us a nice, robust place for them. So, let's see here. Strengths. We already know that they have this giant war machine, so I'm not super worried about strengths. But I am interested in their struggles. So we've already got some struggles, because there's already some conflicts going on. Let me see what we get from struggles real quick. So another D5 here. So we've got 1 and 5. Or 10, so. Just walk away. Actually, let's just do 1. We can mix and match these. They were meant to be read across directly, though. So in this case, we do just walk away. Barbarian faction wants the fruits of a more civilized faction society. And actually, I kind of like that. I like the idea that maybe these Rakshasa are kind of savage. They're like, you know, like man-eaters or cannibals or lions or hedonist. And they like all the machines that the people have. And they're trying to gain wealth to try to figure out how to get these machines for themselves. Let's see. And we've already got some NPCs we could use here. Powerful barbarian warlord. They're mad but ferociously loyal second in command. A beleaguered elected leader resisting them, a wildcat desert dweller with advanced technology. So this is already kind of mapping to what we have. The barbarian warlord would be the Rakshasa. The ferociously loyal second in command would be our Rockstar. The beleaguered elected leader, I think that they should be in the middle of basically besieging a town. Like, so we should make a little town Uh, and that leader should just be like a one die NPC. He's just a dude, and we can give him a name. We don't even have to necessarily use these names, um, because these are very specifically this clan's names. So if we wanted to do like a different clan's NPC stuff, like I think I would go with probably the Silver Phoenix. I think they would have good names for this dude because he really should just be like a guy. Let's see here. Where's the Silver Phoenix at? You know, you'd think after having designed this, I would I would know where everything is, but I don't. Let's see. Here we go. Good old Rising Sun. So like this guy, this beleaguered elected leader, what's his name? Actually, I'm gonna make it a lady. We'll make it a lady. So what's your name, lady? We've got 9. Here we go. Ai. All right, your name is Ai, and we can just do this across. You wear reflective glasses. And your motive is just doing your job. There you go. Now, and again, it's one effort die, so that's done. And you can see, like, we've already got all of this stuff. We have an entire plot arc that we just put together. Now, from here, we would want to, because I think that's everything there. Yeah. But from here, we would want to add probably some treasure and some spice. It's always good to think of an NPC that could potentially be a master for the players if they get on their good side. I feel like the Rakshasa Noble, who I think that you can just stat them like a, let me see, let me pull that up. I need to stat him too. All right, you Rakshasa. By the way, this was the best thing ever. This was really hard to do, but I'm really glad I did because it's really easy to look through it now online. There you go, buddy. Yeah, you're human-esque, so you work just like a person. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we'll just use the Rakshasa. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Boop. Control Z. Gotta love it. But yeah, we'll just set him up like I'll probably make him an enlightened hero. And we'll make him a little bit more of a badass. I think that with this dude, definitely give him the art of the... What was it? Sorcerer's art? Yeah, I'll give him the sorcerer's art. Let me see. Sorcery is... Is it just spirit? Okay. Is there a martial art that gives them spirit really high? I'll show you here. I don't think Atomic Dragonfist is a lot that has spirit super high. Let me see. Because I want them to be able to get master level with spirit at least. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, no, Volcano Emperor Mudra. Okay. No, that works really good then. We'll just make him a fire sorcerer. That fucking rules. And did I make sorcery all necromancy? Did I do that? I think I did. I think I made it largely necromancy. Yeah, you can command the dead. You can command demons. You can live forever. He doesn't really need that. He already lives forever. Showing demons. Oh, and he can unhollow landscape. I like that too. Okay, so yeah, we'll probably give this guy a sorcerer tower, somewhere within the giant complex. Because I'm pretty sure I made rules for that. Doodly-doo. Oh, probably, I'll give him a cool artifact too while I'm at it. Let's see. Steel Eating Late. Oh, what's the, damn, what's it called? There's a really good one that has like a weird name. It's like the Kind Sword or something like that. Yeah, Generous White Blade. I'll give him good old Generous White Blade. Look at that bad boy. It's got fire all over it. It works with this fire stuff. Yeah, that way, and I'll probably make him, since I made the other bad guy, what did I make him, rank 5? I'll make this guy a minimum of rank 6, so he actually has some leverage over him. Give him the Art of the Sorcerer, give him this, and give him that Mystical Treaty, and he'll be a real good actual boss. So this guy will be a little less redeemable. Sorry, fruit fly. I got bananas. It's a little late in the season for them. But yeah, so there we go. We even have their names. It's really easy to generate this stuff. So I now have like an entire tract. If I need the giant battleship thing to have its own advantages or whatever, then I can generate those. Obviously, this little the little city or whatever that's getting beleaguered needs to be developed a little bit more. We need to give it an advantage where it has a lot of money, which again, a couple of dice rolls, we've got it. But I hope you can see, what I'm doing here, where it's just like it's really not that difficult. It's not that difficult to prepare this stuff. So now, if I ever need to have a tract, I actually have this entire thing. I've got like a whole story now, basically. I don't know why that got big. There we go. And it took me, how long have we been recording here? Yeah, half an hour. Okay, so it's been a little while. But we got deep. We have NPCs. We've got a big situation. We've got like a really cool setting. It's really rich. And there's lots of different ways the players can interact with this. They can get on the Rockstar's good side and just fight the Rakshasa. They can find a way to change his aspect to water aspected. So, for example, if I wanted to go under the setting a little bit and do the maze below the world, there's probably some water gods down there they could use to really screw with this Rakshasa. And like if one of them happens to have Art of the Priest, they could curse him with the water aspect, and that might count for the purposes of the curse. This might be something that's being upheld if you have a like one of the divine treaties that's being upheld by the now deceased 5-star spirit. So if you have a 5-star spirit player, this could be like a thing that they're investigating. So yeah, you can rope in, like, there's so many ways to rope in the different clans with this one. He's a sorcerer, so that ropes in. He's potentially a mentor for any of the Shadow Vipers. There's a huge amount of tech and wealth and societies getting moved around here. So, and the potential environmental destruction ropes in both the Emerald Chiron and the Silver Phoenix, with the necessity of going underground to get to a water god. You've got the Brotherhood of Freaks roped in. Like, this guy could be on the border of Golden Lions territory, which is really likely because the Scorpions already border that territory, and that the thing they're menacing could be a Golden Lions settlement. So you could rope up the Golden Lions that way. And like, it's really easy. If you wanted this to be your starting area, you could rope in every different kind of clan. You could even have a reason for multiple clans to send their proteges to deal with this guy. It's like, look, we're busy, but all of you guys on our behalf make a sworn brotherhood and deal with this problem. And it could just be their masters cooperating for political reasons. Or if they just happen to be wandering through the desert, you could just make this one of the dangers and dooms on the encounter list. Easy as that, and that would just rope them into this entire thing that's happening. Let me see. I'd want to put together a custom encounter list for this, so that all the different entries we just made could show up whenever they're just wandering around on it. I would want to think of, like, I would want to think in detail about what it would be like to be on top of this giant, like, land battleship thing. Like, I want to detail the fortress. I might go so far as to make like a rough blueprint, so they could explore it kind of like a dungeon or kind of like a city. And I like the idea of it being like a city in the middle and then like a dungeon underneath, and then like it's all like tracked and wheel, and there's just guns sticking out on all the far sides of it. Like, mobile. It's a giant, robot carnival-esque tank plus Mega City 1. Like, that's what I want this place to be. So yeah, and I would want to think about like what would be fun to do in this place as players, and so you can keep like adding stuff to it, to really make it rich. But as far as like the general template of like the situation and the major players and overall what we need to fill with whatever content that we want, we've got it now. So there you go. That's prepping in Lone Wolf Fist. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed making it. Talk to you later.